set.
Hit me up, dark brown with body mix fly. The future's back, DeLorean style. This is my time. Got my Ray-Bans on, my acid wash jeans, pull pedal to the metal, flashback to the beat. Step into my time machine. On a rooftop in electric Times Square, with the wind in my face and a scrunchie in my hair. Fold out my rolling D50. Gonna bring back the vibe. Moonwalk back to 85. Yeah, you know I got my A-team. Hennessy pop loop drum machine. This is my 80s fluorescent pink dream. Yeah, you know I got my A-team. Hennessy pop loop drum machine. Better believe. Still want my MTV. Better believe. Oh, yeah. Hit me up, dark brown with body big fly. The future's back, DeLorean style. This is my time. Got my Ray-Bans on, my acid wash jeans, pull pedal to the metal, flashback to the beat. Step into my time machine. Through the vortex, crank up the reverb. Back from the future, haven't you heard? 85 is where it's at. Let's revive the whole world.
Game set.
Let's revive the whole world. Hey, yo, ready? You ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, hop in my DeLorean, get ready, get set. Where I'm taking you now is on my own road. I pick my own path, bringing 80s recode. Put my hand on the throttle, best to buckle up. Rev up the gigawatts, hang on to your butts. I'm just a 90s kid. I just need a time machine to fly away. Hit me up, dark brown with body big fly. The future's back, DeLorean style. This is my time. Got my Ray-Bans on, my acid wash jeans, put metal to the pedal, flashback to the beat. Step into my time machine. Through the vortex, crank up the reverb. Back from the future, haven't you heard? 85 is where it's at. Let's revive the whole world. Let's revive the whole world. Still want my MTV.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Dream League Season 25 with myself and Talon coming back to you for the final series of the day to find which team will be qualifying to Dream League Season 25. Is it going to be Boom? Is it going to be Talon? Talon, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, and this was what we expected, right? 2 out of the 3 of Talon, Aurora, and Boom in this last qualification spot. One of them is going to be missing out, and if you're going by recent history, Talon are the ones that have that slight edge over Boom. They always seem to be able to just edge themselves out with a little bit faster of a victory the majority of the time. The one time that didn't happen was that 112-minute game that we saw back in December of 2024, the longest game of 2024. So, yeah, I'm keen to see if we're going to look to rewrite the history books and have a similar sort of thing, because other than that one win that Boom was able to get, it was a 3-1 sweep for Talon, taking their victories at around the 40 or so minute mark. But this time, it's just a best of 3.
It is indeed, and with the way that Talon have been playing at the moment, and I mean especially what we saw against Team Kokois, they have been relentless, and I'm excited to see what they'll bring to the table against Boom Esports. A little bit different picks from what we saw in the previous game to compared to throughout all in the closed qualifiers. So I think there'll be a little hints of difference between Boom and Talon, but that makes things quite more exciting to see one set of draft versus another, which is built slightly different, and then both of those clash head to head.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we saw Talon against Aurora in the upper bracket semifinal try for a little bit of that faster pace, right? They tried the bounty hunter. They tried to really get in on the front foot and beat Aurora before they hit that late game timing. Remember, for Boom, it's more about the mid game timing that they're going for. They want matches that are going to last around 40, 45 minutes. They don't want 50 plus. But maybe against Talon they do, like Talon aren't necessarily the biggest, Spectre players. They're not the biggest. I mean, like, we just saw Natsume play a great Morphling though, and the Naga Siren, so they can scale into the later stages, and anyone can play Spectre these days. But I'm just talking about how, as a team, they're looking to try and address the drafts that Talon are going for, because that's something that Team Kukui's did not do at all. I thought they lost the game in the draft both times, and Talon really punished them for it. Just ban the sniper. I keep talking about it. It's something that you have to do against Thompson, you have to do it against Samael, and Makoto is showing that he is also one of those people that you just want to ban it against, because kind of like what the Nyx does, kind of like what the IO does, it changes the way that you have to both draft and play the game. You don't want to just have a lane that you've just said, okay, well, we've lost this lane because there's a freaking sniper in it.
And let's see if the sniper comes out. Let's see if any of those heroes, for that matter, come out as a draft, ladies and gentlemen, is underway. Let's get it up for you for the final series of Dream League Season 25 for the Southeast Asia Closed Qualifiers. Boom or Talon, who is going to the group stage, as we set off with the ban stage for Boom. What shall they be banning? Nyx Assassin, that was their first pick for Talon in the...
I believe Talon chose second pick, by the way. So they want to be able to have this response if Boom are looking to go something that's a little more exploitable in the laning stage, right? You've still got the one ban following the first pick. And maybe they just really value that last overall pick. Not too often they're leaving WS's hero until the very end. They did do the Night Stalker in that previous series, but I think he's just got such a huge hero pool that he can make anything work. So I would be more looking to maybe leave Makoto's hero up to that point. I'm not sure, honestly. Talon are flexible enough with their hero choices that they can make anything work. If I'm just thinking what they might be picking early on, I would assume it's going to be something like the Phoenix coming through as a main priority for them. Kuku loves to play it. You can flex it for Jokam to play it as well. Jokam, he plays a great Lion too, so if we see any of these Spirit heroes, which might end up happening because we see the Nyx being banned out, I'm really expecting from Boom the Sniper to be that next ban.
5 seconds remaining.
And we'll see as two final bans come into play. Some reserve time eating out here for Talon. Already banned Doom, the Magnus, and the Alchemist. Never will we see this Alchemist, ever.
Ever.
Like it's been banned without fail throughout every game. Is it really that potent in C?
It's potent everywhere. Like, it's just way too good. You have a lot of that ability to just flash farm. You know how potent stacks are these days. You know how good he is at being able to just farm off the back of Acid Spray. People have started using the Unstable Concoction and stunning yourself just to get a little bit of that burst damage before you're able to get into the Radiance as well. It's just a really versatile hero that hits so many early timings, so you don't want to have this like raid boss that you're having to deal with at like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh my, and it's a Jackie Gyrocopter. And who is it on Talon that plays this Templar assassin? Is it Natsume?
Both Makoto and Natsume can play it, so they've given themselves a little bit of flex here.
Seconds remaining.
Sorry about that, I just had an absolute massive sneezing fit. For any of you that was wondering why why he went silent.
No, I was just
stand out.
yeah, good. I was just looking at while you were sneezing your lungs out,
Yep.
into the recent head-to-head between these two teams. So Talon and Boom have actually played up against each other only 6 times in this most recent patch, and Talon have won 5 out of the 6 times. So it really just goes to show that they do have the wood on them at this point in time. And they're going to look to try and continue this. Is this a playstyle issue? Are we going to see Boom perhaps play a little bit more fast-paced? Well, Chen, you know that the fast-paced nature is going to be coming to you. So how are they going to be able to adjust to this? Gyrocopter isn't actually the worst hero at being able to deal with the Chen army. And so now you need something that's either going to bully the TA in the lane so she doesn't get to these really aggressive item timings. I want to see strong laners picked up. You have a look at a lot of these bans that have been removed. Dawn's gone, Timbersaw gone, Doom gone, Magnus gone. They're the main ones that you're really looking to prioritize in that way. So I wonder what they're going to be considering for Talon, or if the mindset is, look, let's just not lane. Let's pull the wave, let's get a few levels onto someone, and just trying to think what offlaner you can go down. I keep going back to the Mars just because I feel like that is a good tool to be able to lock down the TA with the spear, prevent that blink away. In case the Chen and his entire army makes call down and flat cannon amazing. It feels good, but not always the greatest at being able to defend against this huge array of push.
And they pick themselves up the Phoenix here, along with an instant into Terrorblade. So
Offlane
is this
Terrorblade.
Terrorblade offlane?
Seems like it. Just to be able to spam out that reflection. I mean, the thing is, you know that Talon are going to be grouping up and pushing with a Chen. If you're not doing it, then why are you picking a Chen, basically? You know, like, an Enchantress could do it solo just because she's so annoying, she's so survivable on her own. But Chen kind of needs to be playing around those auras a little bit more, needs to be playing around the team a little bit more. So something like a Terrorblade that with the reflection, you get a lot of that, that damage going back early on into the piece. You're also kind of an aura buyer. I know some people feel like this hero is a bit of a bait, and you're not really seeing anything that you're like, ooh, Pipe of Insight, great this game. But I'm interested to see what sort of item builds we're going to see from FBZ.
Oh, and the Jokum Lion.
Good way to deal with TB illusions.
Instantly takes those out, so very nice pick from Talon. The fourth picks between both now.
10 seconds remaining.
What have they got? They've already got their supports here. Boom Esports just needing one more support. Earthshaker comes out for Talon.
Okay, pretty strong laner that they feel like is going to have a decent enough time in that mid lane. Just seeing like what other heroes that you could potentially have to be able to buff this up. Like if you're grouping up and pushing together, is an Invoker something to consider? Something to just lock down the Earthshaker, make his life a little bit more challenging in the lane. Tornado, just to be able to, you know, address the Chen. Even Meteor in the middle of all of the Chen army feels quite nice. And you know, a little bit of extra lockdown control to enable an egg to go off, for example.
Radiant team back.
That's another way to dominate a lane. Like this a lot. I mean, you talk about defense against an army. Wukong's command, get a bunch of armor for yourself. Boundless Strike with Jingu Mastery, take out all of Chen's creeps. Crush, well, maybe not crush the Earthshaker in the lane, but have a really good time in the lane against the Earthshaker. And
yeah,
I mean, even if you wanted to flex this Shaker now to be off lane, doesn't necessarily feel that great into a Gyrocopter Phoenix either. So it's an interesting choice for the Shaker, for sure. And I really like this response that Boom have gone for. Mac is set up to have a very good game, so I'm assuming it's their Pos 4 that's still yet to come from Boom. Unless they're putting this Terrorblade as a position 4 and just using him as like a reflection bot. We've seen it a little bit in the past, even at the stages of TI, with a few SA teams playing it and winning with it. So I don't think we're going to see any like weird armlet down to 1 HP Dagon Pos 4 Terrorblade that 9 class tried to do a few times and ended up looking a little bit silly with it, but it could still work if you're really just wanting to play into that reflection.
Yeah, I mean, it could do. I'm not particularly a fan of the Pos 4 Terrorblade.
I mean, I'm not either. I'm just thinking, like, it's pretty rare that you have a Pos 4 left to the last pick of the entire draft, is what I'm saying. Like, are they considering a Rubik, maybe? Against the Shaker, against the Lion. Not too bad. they're still kind of hedging their bets with a leaner ban, making sure that this mid lane is going to go well for the Monkey King. So even if that Shaker was going to move towards the side lane, it's not going to be able to come out with the W.
I mean, they could even swap Gyrocopter in the support, but I don't know if Jackie wants to do that because we've seen him play Gyrocopter so many times within these close qualifiers, so I'm not sure whether they'll throw us off and actually do that and play Terrorblade carry instead.
I mean, I'm not... I understand a little bit about the Terrorblade, but I'm not as crazy about it as them. I mean, you could see some of the other heroes being banned out, right? Timbersaur's gone, Mars is gone. These heroes, I feel like, would have been able to address that ball up and go style a little bit more than the Terrorblade. And I guess they're kind of just banking on someone stepping out of position, because where is your catch right now on Boom? That's my biggest issue. I don't think you can just rely on them all funneling into this tiny area to be able to play around. They're still banning out offlaners because that, I mean, Clockwork is gone as well. That's a little bit of potential catch. Marcy, possibly. Tusk, maybe. But it doesn't feel that amazing into all of this. Like, I'm biased, but I like my Wyvern. If you're going to be grouping up, just Winter's Curse onto 50 million heroes and you blow someone up, then it gives you a little bit of time to, you know, lay down the cooldown, lay down the Wukongs, get that supernova going. Not too bad against the Chen army in lane as well, right? With the Splinter Blast.
No,
and
yeah,
damage over time against the TA.
Yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Still quite puzzled.
Talon's
They will
turn
ban
to
out
pick.
Quap and instantly go into a Primal Beast. Okay.
So where is this gyro going? Is it a 4 gyro? Is it a 1 gyro? Is it a 4 Terrorblade? Because one of them needs to be true. Like, this is very interesting that they're going for. You do have a lot of AoE damage here on the Primal, and you do have that catch, which we've been wanting. But you also don't really have the... Until you get BKB, you're kind of susceptible heavily to stuns coming through from Talon, right? So how are they going to be able to dodge out a lot of this aggression for Primal Beast to actually feel confident of initiating into a lot of these team fights?
I'm going to be really intrigued to see the positions of these Boom Esports heroes. I can see numerous places for all of these heroes, actually, to be honest. So I wonder if they'll just wait it out and then pick, depending on
Now select your heroes.
who goes who. They've got themselves Beastmaster on Talon, so it's Mikoto on mid lane, the
Terrorblade.
Earthshaker. Oh, and it is a 4 Terrorblade. Okay, so Jackie, yeah, still stays with the Gyrocopter. We've got Mac on mid with the Monkey King, FBZ playing the Primal Beast. Okay, yeah, this is more what we saw, wasn't it? This is what we said would be better. I mean, we said that we weren't the greatest fans of a position for Terrorblade, but we'll see how Tim's plays this off, because this is quite a different playstyle as to how he's been playing throughout the tournament with the example of his Lions and other heroes that he's been playing throughout.
Definitely. And I'm interested to see even just how he plays this lane, because Primal into Terrorblade into a Chen TA doesn't feel that strong for the Primal TB. You know, there's got plenty of pure damage to be able to burst through them. They've got, I mean, they've got decent stuns and slows, I guess, on Boom. But I'm expecting to see Tim's just, again, max out the reflection, spam it whenever possible, and then use his illusions to be able to start building up some of these stacks. You've got a Primal Beast, you've got a Terrorblade. They're the ones that need to be... sorry, not a Terrorblade, and a Gyrocopter. They need to be scaling off the back of some of these early levels, some of these early item timings, and I previously mentioned how important that BKB is going to be for this Primal Beast to be feeling pretty confident on contesting into the swarm, basically. And I wonder if this is going to be the game, because he didn't do it in the past 2 times that we've seen him play the Gyrocopter. Seems pretty set on his item build. But is this the drums game for the Gyro, where you just get drums for free because you know they're coming at you? Maybe TB just goes for the drums because, you know, pretty good on that hero, synergizes well with your own pushing power, but just the ability to disassemble drums and reassemble them, get all the charges back when you know that this aggression is going to be coming constantly from Talon, could be a very useful tool just to frequently enable you to team fight. I saw Tim's actually He's gone through like 3 different things in his quick buy. He queued up the drums for a second, then he went into a Glimmer Cape on the TB. He's got the Tranquil Boots built up for himself as well, so potentially be able to get into the Boots of Bearing later on. Don't know what the avenue is going to be, but I'm interested to see how it's going to work out. Really need to see a ton of stacks, and honestly, we've seen Earthshakers invade into the enemy triangle a fair few times to be able to just Echo Slam a huge number of creeps, so I wonder if they're going to be doing that as well. I mean, you've got great heroes at being able to scout out if any of that kind of action is going on. Cuckoo playing his Chen with the Satyr Convert.
Yep.
He's always going to be able to send a creep there just to scout out around that sort of time where, you know, Primal Beast might be considering leaving the lane.
They have quite the momentum on Talon, don't they, in terms of...
This is their style.
Beastmaster.
Fast gameplay. And it lasted all the way until the last pick of the draft, this Beastmaster as well. And you can see no hesitation with what he's going for. Helm of the Dominator, that's the item. Overlord, push. They have no ways to be able to deal with the creep summon. One of the advantages, of course, of second pick, that you've got that uncounterable last pick. So even if they wanted to have something like an Enchantress or a Doom or anything like that, not going to be able to stop
30
WS.
seconds to battle.
And he's got the Wild Hunt as well. Good God. So when you've got a Chen army as well, all of that bonus attack speed is going to be enormous.
I was wondering what WS would level on the lane, particularly going against a Gyro cutter. Obviously, of course, with a carry Gyro, you're going to be putting quite a bit of points into the flat count. So do you really go, like, Call of the Wild Boar, or are you going to go into, like, Wild Axes? Because I know he's going the Helm of the Dominator, but I don't suppose he wants to keep on feeding Wild Boars, right?
No, it's a very valid question that you're asking, and honestly, I don't know. It's going to depend on how well the lane is going to be manipulated. Also, just having a look at WS on the bottom side of the map, he's being pinged out right now because he's going for these deep body blocks, making sure that that first wave goes underneath the tower so that it's going to equalize, and that's why Jackie is moving forward in the lane to potentially do the same thing. He wants to block the wave so that it doesn't go underneath the tower. He was not too successful, though. So this wave is going to bounce back in favor of Talon, and they're going to be able to secure some of these easier last hits for themselves. Does put the early point into the Wild Axes, though.
Yeah, so maybe Wild Axes. We'll see, though. Just the value. Courier Snipe from Tims.
Sure. This is what he needs to do, right? Like, I was saying before, this is not a lane that is enviable to be playing into. Tims just needs to make sure that he's getting these constant pulls off. FBZ wants to get a bunch of this free farm for himself, not being bullied away by the TA or the Chen.
So because of that block, lane already pushing to the side of WS and Jokum.
Tim's even blood grenading to make sure that the Satyr Convert gets denied there by Cuckoo. So not going to be worried about that little bit of extra harass. There's the mana burns coming out. In a TB against a TA, you can see even with the Meld Strike hitting onto him, still has 4 armor to be able to play with afterwards. So he's just stocked up on tangos, realizing that he's going to need to put himself into harm's way a fair amount. Doing a pretty good job so far to give FBZ a couple of these waves early on.
Yeah, we were doubting the TB4 a little bit, but seeing that he has quite high base armor, it kind of makes sense that he would actually be doing okay in this top lane here, because obviously Chen just has the physical attacks of the creeps, and then obviously, of course, Natsumi, high physical damage carry. Just able to harass and give FBZ the space that he needs in order to get his levels early on, and not be punished early.
I didn't realize it, and we'll see it again sometime in the future. When Mac uses Mischief on the Monkey King, his Santa hat just stays, like wherever he initially used the Mischief. So it was just hanging out there in the river, completely away from the, I think, Courier that he transformed into. Looked pretty clowny.
Okay.
Kodo's doing pretty well, though, against the Monkey King in this mid lane. I mean, this was picked as that direct counter to it, and he's keeping up in terms of last hits, pretty much dead even.
Just actually positioning himself really well, so the Jingu stacks cannot get upon him. It is only level 2 at the moment, so it's not as strong as it used to be, remember? How strong Jingu.
Oh yeah.
Boy. This horrible Monkey King almost mid every time.
I think we're going to see a pretty quiet game for the very beginning. I mean, not a ton of kill threat coming through from a Phoenix gyrocopter. We'll be able to secure Jackie. You pick Phoenix for what he does in those early fights in terms of being able to reduce a huge amount of damage off the back of the Blinding Sun, off the back of the Fire Spirit. Supernova, of course, just denies an area completely, but they've got a lot of increased attack speed coming through from that inner beast as well for the Beastmaster, so he is going to be a very strong egg hitter.
We've got Januel rotating in with an Icarus dive and attempting to try and get Mikoto right now. Oh, Tims is rotating in here too with the reflection.
Waited a long time on
that,
Jokum.
they get the kill, and maybe even a kill onto Jokum too. Yes, they do. 2 rotations there with the supports. Tim's just surviving on about 50 HP, and with that, double kill on the mid lane.
Nicely done. One going to Mac First Blood, more importantly. Second one going to Januel. So again, like, you're fine enough in these side lanes where you're not going to be getting kills, but it just allows Jackie to get that really good start that he was needing, that you feel free to make that move towards the mid lane, right? He was very careful with how exactly he was moving, making sure not to walk in like the middle of the jungle, because that area was scouted out by an observer ward. So not backing off quickly enough was Mikoto. Jokum, uncharacteristically a little slow on his Lion, which is a Jokum specialty. WS, he's getting the business.
Oh yeah, that is WS maybe dead.
He should be okay.
Level 2 Fire Spirits.
He's got the Helm of Iron Will, so he'll be alright.
He good. But Tim's moving around everywhere. What's mid?
Oh.
Oh,
Walks
he's
into the stun, does Tims.
double Earth Spike.
Just having a quick look if there are any stacks being built up. Not quite so much at this point, and Zhao, he's placed down a sentry ward to make sure that there's not going to be any kind of stacking going on, because you consider all 3 of the Talon cores, they are ones that can massively skyrocket in Flash Farm in terms of TA Cleave, Echo Slam from the Earthshaker, Wild Axes coming through from WS on his Beastmaster. So if you can deny that, if you can prevent those stacks from coming through, that is a huge benefit, as Tims is just trying to be annoying right now. He's cutting clarities, he's preventing stacks, he's taking away a bounty rune as well that he might have been using to be able to refill the bottle, and with that, Januel, he's forced to be able to secure that that regen rune for himself, but as long as he's denying it away from Mikoto, I don't think he cares all that much. Wonder if they want to go for a dive here before he hits onto that level 6 as well.
This is leaving FBZ though on his own, and he is suffering a bit. He's actually having to go back to base to reobtain some mana and HP, because Cuckoo has been bullying him here with the 2 of his creeps. Meanwhile, they are going to dive Mikoto, yeah. Surely not underneath the tier 2. Yeah, he's
using the glyph to be able to protect that mid tower, tier 1, from the siege creep wave, but also the multi-shot potential from the tier 2. 6.5 minutes in, like you said, just a little bit early to be making that deep of a dive. So you're going to back up. I mean, it's not the worst, right? You get a glyph out of them, you still have the Metamorphosis to be able to push, you've still got Tims spamming out that reflection, giving a lot of information and vision, and you're probably still going to be able to secure this tower.
They really want it, they really want it. Wukong's command is going to be committed just for it.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And they'll get it.
Very nice, fast-paced gameplay coming through from Boom. FBZ, he's just hit up onto his level 6 as well. They made sure that he was the one, alongside WS actually, to be able to secure the Wisdoms.
Definitely deadline, unless he can deny himself. Nope, Matt gets their final physical attack. Taking down Jokum.
Hope everything's okay. But yeah, I'm really expecting FBZ, his build is just maximizing value, essentially, right? He's going for movement speed on movement speed on movement speed. So Phase Boots makes a lot of sense, both for farming and trample in the middle of these team fights. Windlace, 250 gold, so much value. And then I'm really expecting him to just go straight BKB after that. Like, he needs to be the one engaging into a lot of these fights. He needs to be the one finding the backline, finding a way to make it a little bit easier for you to just confidently walk in without worrying about 2 stuns coming out from the Lion.
Even though WS had himself this last pick Beastmaster, it isn't really going all to plan on this bottom lane here. Is it more to kind of like synergize in terms of, you know, how you have yourself the Chen, you want some fast movement within like the early stages of the game? Because he's not really doing all that well, is he?
No, he's not. And I mean, this is what happens into the gyrocopter, right? It's like, yeah, you've got this wild hunt facet. Yes, you're wanting to go this big army of creeps, but I think it might have been a bit of a mistake to forego the wild axes, you know? If you're looking to try and build up into that Helm of the Overlord nice and quickly, if your boars are just dying in lane, this is what's going to happen in terms of your net worth. He's just feeding away a lot of that and not even giving him the ability to be able to take a bunch of stacks as poor FBZ dies inside of the Dire jungle.
Utilization of the Echo Slam there, hoping to get the kill. And Mikoto's still got some stacks hanging around here, created by a support, but that Echo Slam cooldown for 2 minutes. Reward there from Mac.
Mac versus Makoto. Very interesting. Which one is going to come out on top? Sorry. But he's going for the Maelstrom build here, just wanting to not go as greedy as the Battle Fury, but you, again, need to have something to deal with all of these units that are going to be coming up against you, right? You can see he's still looking to play very active after the Maelstrom. As WS, he's the one that the main target is going for. They might be happy enough just to be able to push him away from the tower, open this bottom side of the map up, allow them to potentially look to try and snipe some of these ancient stacks. There's got a really deep observer ward placed down by Januel to the north side near the Wisdom Rune, so are they going to steal this? My guess would be yes.
Yeah, looks like it.
Black Cannon up in 1. Maybe fall down, sure.
Oh no, WS.
And again, just without the more points in the Wild Axes, what is he meant to do about this? Even if he tries to snipe the last hits on them, it's pretty hard to do so just with that initial usage of the Wild Axe. It's only going to do 70 damage.
Like what FBZ is going here. Next item, Blade Mail.
Okay. Don't know how I feel about that. Maybe just because of how well Max Lane has gone, they feel like he's going to be able to get into an early-ish BKB for himself, and he's going to be the one initiating off the back of the Aghanim Shard and then just straight up jumping the backlines, blowing him up, but I don't know. Maybe the previous death, FBZ felt like, you know, regardless of if I get stunned or not, as long as I'm popping the Blade Mail, I'm still going to be
Makoto?
Echo, maybe?
Gonna get initiated on. There's the Pulverize. No time to even use Echo Slam. Just stun lock there, but no Boundless Strike to stop the TP from Cuckoo. He gets away, so only a kill on the Earthshaker, but nonetheless a pick off on the mid.
Pick up on the mid and a bunch of unreliable gold lost as a result of that death, setting himself back 270 gold. He would have had to be able to go towards this Blink Dagger, and again, I feel like Boom have done a really good job of controlling these Ancients. Like, they stole one set, they've had this medium camp constantly blocked up, and WS
going
is about
for
to die again.
Yeah, Boundless Strike's there. Dodged the Primal Roar, but the cooldown went the wrong way, or else that would have been a kill.
Okay.
Misplay there from Jackie.
Nice roar, though, from WS. Will he even try and stack this for himself? Doesn't seem like it. He's just intent on backing off entirely and regenning up a little bit for himself. So we haven't really seen too much value out of this Chen just yet. Granted, doesn't have the mech at this point. So about 800 or so gold away, and Cuckoo, he's probably even at that point going to have the Hand of God available, so the team fights haven't even begun for Talon, right? Like, this is a 3k net worth lead. It's not what you're wanting when you're playing this early game-oriented draft, but they haven't really shown their strength at this point. Still no ulti for Jokem. Helm of the Dominator just came up for WS. No Blink Dagger for Shaker. No mech for Chen. So it's just, how do you not bleed gold and slow down some of these timings?
Oh, they're going for Jokem. Oh, the Hex comes out in return. There's the Meld 2 onto Mac. Earth Spike is there. Doesn't have level 6 for Finger, though. Able to get off the Wukong's command. Mikoto, meanwhile, he's completely split from the rest of his team. Still alive, though. Nice meld damage coming out there onto FBZ. Still, yet no one has died. There's a fight underneath this tier 1 tower. Mikoto getting lower and lower there, and the reflection showing that. He has to get himself away. Natsumi with the blink dagger that he's picked up after the Dragon Lance. He'll be able to blink himself away. FBZ trying to scout out Mikoto. He is gone once again, so even diving beyond that tier 1 tower, no deaths, surprisingly.
Yeah, no deaths, and yeah, I'm a little surprised with that. Like the fact that they're giving FBZ the last hit as well onto this tower. I really still feel like it is important for him to be hitting his timings. He's getting dived on a little bit here by Natsumi. Should be fine. Not a lot of mana to be able to play around with his TA, and maybe that's what FBZ's pinging out.
Yeah, as the Pulverize comes out, along with the Supernova as well, but nice usage there of the Earth Spike.
Nice
But the Boundless Strike, oh, the Supernova just doesn't connect there, but they may still be able to find the kill there onto Natsumi. Yes, they will. They'll take down the carry here on Boom, showing their dominance across their side of the map.
Very greedy by Natsumi to be able to stick around there, right? Like we mentioned, no mana, so he wasn't able to play around Meld, Refraction, all that well, and he just blinked in to be able to try and punish FBZ a little bit, so... You know, I can understand if he immediately backed off after that, but he stuck around a little bit, and he just saw the punishment coming through from the Primal Beast as Jokem. He's the one getting dived on
Oh my
now.
gosh. Yeah, that was a lot of damage he just took within a second and a half. Instantly taking down the ladders. Now they go for the Chen here too. Underneath this tier 2 tower, they're going to commit the Wukong's command. The Pulverize is there. Poor Chen. 2 ultimates used upon him.
It's all about just choking them out on their side of the map. Talon aren't pushing. They... Oh, nice
Primal Roar. Mid-Icarus dive, taking down the Phoenix.
Alright. Bit of a freebie given over there. Cuckoo just... sorry, Januel trying to be a little bit annoying. Still, overall, 4K net worth lead. Hitting into a bunch of your timings. Blade Mail only 75 gold away for FBZ, so...
Very nice.
Very happy to put himself in onto the front lines, and this is a fresh Blink Dagger reveal that does not go off. And, oh, I wonder if he saw that he collided into someone there. Never mind, Tibbs is going to reveal that fact anyway. Where are the boys? Surely Jokab could have made that move together with him. He's just freshly hit up onto his level 6 as well, so Makoto just banking on a under-leveled, under-farmed Earthshaker to be able to 100 to 0 anyone inside the jungle where you don't have vision. Very odd choice.
I wonder if he's going to finish off the Tranquils or not, or just go for straight into a Blink or something like that on Joker. He is currently the lowest net worth at the moment.
I'd be going straight Blink if I was him. I think it doesn't seem like a lot of gold, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot of gold, because you're not getting too many objectives. You're dying 0-3-0. Your team isn't quite ready to keep pushing forward. Maybe now they should be, considering they got the Drums of Endurance, they got the Helm of the Dominator, they got the mech coming out now on the Courier, and again, you've got that Echo Slam available for Makoto. I just need to see him use it.
Yeah, he just needs to reobtain some mana and HP, so he's really not in a fighting situation at the moment.
Yep. Seems like a go back to base, TP out to the outpost. Hopefully don't get scouted out by that observer ward that Jalnuel's put up there, because Roshan is on their mind, right? You've got drums, you've got a TA. No Desolator yet, but still the Meld plus the Blightstone, dealing a significant amount of minus armor to the Roche. So that is something that they need to be very mindful of. Just feels like they can't get out of like their third of the map, let alone their half of the map at this stage. Nice creep though for Kuka to be able to claim. Dark Troll Summoner, summoning a bunch of Skelly Boys, not only buffing up his team through the rally passive aura coming through, but again, the Wild Hunt on the Beastmaster, who's maxed out his inner beast, is going to provide him so much attack speed when he does engage into a lot of these team fights, just because of how many creeps are around.
Meanwhile, though, Joker has been caught out once again. That'll be his 4th death on this Lion. Maybe FBZ looking for more? But they have vision on WS. Oh, he activates that Blade Mail. Nice usage there. That actually puts off WS from going in with the Primal Roar.
This is all you're really wanting to do, right? Just take away this early timing that Talon are looking to go for. Even just with where all of Boom are positioning themselves. I'm almost wondering, are they considering a Roshan for themselves? I don't think they can just do it on its own, because there's always that threat of Chen scouting you out, of, you know, the Echo Slam coming in and blowing you up. And I would give away as Tims. Might be in a little bit of danger here, but FPZ...
Yep, coming in with the
back them up a
meld.
little bit.
Let's have the Finger of Death, not able to use the Sunder, but Jokum found within the Wukong's command, so they'll trade it for the position for Terrorblade.
Cuckoo, they just see a free kill.
Maybe not for more. Yeah, they'll bet themselves off, unless Natsumi, maybe perhaps for a kill onto FBZ, never mind. He onslaughts himself away.
Okay. Turn of Shadows being picked up by Jiao, maybe feeling like they don't have amazing ways to be able to break through that refraction quite as easily, so Phoenix is going to be able to assist even more with that. Also, nice way to be able to disable the Blink Dagger on Makoto. He's able to dive in onto the backlines. Of course, it is going to rely on a lot of this deep vision, which they do still have one reasonably deep ward on Talon at this point. Sorry, on Boom on this point, covering the right-hand side of the dire jungle. The BKBs are next on the agenda for Boom. They should be feeling very satisfied with how they've been able to come out with this 6k net worth lead. Tim's just continuing his job of scouting out across the map, even hitting into Roshan with his illusion. Just don't let them have any big objectives for free, is the main goal for Boom right now until you get into those BKBs. It's going to be a triple BKB timing at a pretty similar point for Monkey King, Primal Beast, and Gyrocopter, and by that point, there's going to be just all systems go. Back even destroying some of this Chen army that might have been going for some rat plays.
Starting to slow down. Getting him at the moment. Thought Mac would honestly be finishing up a Gleipnir, but feeling that he quite needs this BKB.
I'm fine with it. Again, even the Mjolnir as opposed to the Gleipnir. Gleipnir's fine, but again, when you've got 50 million units hitting you, imagine the value that you're going to get out of a Mjolnir as well.
Oh yeah,
putting yourself into the middle of all of these team fights. That's another advantage that, I mean, we haven't been talking about Jackie for quite some time. He's got let's say 2.5 heroes, if you count the Phoenix, that are going to be putting their lives on the line into the middle of things. I think really going to just pop a lot onto this.
Oh yeah, oh, pulverized. That stops the Echo Slam coming out. Mikoto's taking way too much damage. That is 2 down instantly. Make that 3, make that 4. Natsumi taken down. And the execution from Boom was spot on.
Just still holding on to that Echo Slam. Have we seen a single one all game? I don't think we have. And this is not what you're picking the... Hold on, TV might be in danger when they're going for this, as Tims gets a free Demon Zeal for himself. So now he's even going to be able to provide a little bit of this annoyance coming through from just shoving lanes. Sorry, I thought he might die to a TA trap there, just being as low as he was.
And that was just running into the Blink reveal as well in that team fight.
Yeah, FBZ Blink reveal, 4 men stun coming through from Mac, really disabling the backlines as well. Reflection, giving so much information, and Makoto just not casting spells once again.
Almost a blink on Jokum though. 1 kill, no assists. 6 deaths. Not the greatest Lion game he's had.
Free shard for Januel. The rich get richer. He's even... I love an early blink, early gem purchase coming through from a team that's well in front. Just means like, oh, you thought you had map to be able to play around with? No, we're just going to be able to find the jump onto you every single time. There's nothing that you can do about it. We've already got TB Illusions providing a ton of information as well, and well, we're going to be able to use that information and your lack of information to be able to find some kills.
Smoke up as 3. Well enough, Jackie is going to join in here. He hasn't finished up his BKB, but feels strong enough to look for something with the rest of his team.
Radiant's
Mac
bottom
taking
tower is under
a
attack.
massive lead here. Look at him go. The 450 plus tree dance cast range.
They see him underneath this TA trap, but they
they
don't
do.
react.
So now the Wukong's command comes out. Does not have vision of Natsumi though. Primal Roar used defensively. The rest of Talon get themselves out.
All right. It's gone, yeah, like you said, a little bit too eager away from the rest of the team. If Phoenix was around, they actually give the gem over to the Monkey King now. Hasn't used the BKB just yet either. Oof, nice blink. But now, where can you go? Not sure if they saw a quick glimpse of that Observer Ward inside of the middle of the Giant Ancients area. He should maybe see it now. Never mind. More intent on just pushing things out as, yeah, FBZ's telling him this is where they've got vision.
Radiant's top
we go.
tower is under attack.
Like, how are you supposed to play when you've got no information? TA traps is one of the biggest strengths of this hero, and you're just going to get them wiped away instantly. Great choice to be able to go into that early gem purchase by Cuckoo. He's got all he could realistically want, right? Like, it's 23 minutes, and I mean, yeah, Ghost Scepter would be nice just to prevent yourself from getting blown up, but an Urn, Solar Crest, Shard, level 12, you're very happy if you're any Phoenix playing into this.
I mean, Talon do have quite a bit of information, understanding that Boom are around the...
And they block FBZ. He got the
outpost.
blade mail off.
Forward there with the blade. Yeah, he did get the blade mail off as the Wukong's command. It's not going to come out. He's just going to use that BKB. They take down Jokum. Natsumi's dead. They've lost 3 here on Talon. Completely butchered apart here. Mikoto's trying to get away here with his Aghanims. He's got the blink off cooldown. There we go. But Mac trying to chase him, but he is below 95% HP, so won't get that no cooldown on the tree dance. Mikoto will be fine, but 3gon, they had quite a bit of information there onto Talon, but still not able to utilize it and find a kill even. And as you said, they activated the blade mail on FBZ, so they didn't want to jump him.
Quick fingers on FBZ to be able to just make them be in two minds there. I'm a Makoto fan. I'm a big Makoto fan, but where is the Echo Slam? Like, it comes to a point where you just got to drop it onto someone. Any sort of kill is going to provide them so much benefit at this stage of the game. Obviously, Mac would be the absolute dream, considering he's got an 8-kill streak. He's holding on to the gem. I don't know if you can just rely on that, considering they bought this early gem. They've got the Simian Stride. They've got the TP Illusions just constantly scouting out where you might have any form of information. And he's nearly about to have a Mjolnir as well.
Not the greatest net worth on Natsumi either. Gyro 3k gold ahead. Not what you would expect from a Templar assassin.
They finally got a ward down outside of their base, and it seems like they're really trying to huddle around it as much as possible. But that's the thing with Boom, when they're this far ahead, you don't have to walk into that area. You could either take the tower or just go Roshan. Why not? This is the thing that Talon is trying to play around. They want to play around their Aegis timings as much as possible. I think we've got a BKB. No, it's a Hurricane Pike actually coming through for TA. So just wanting to get out of that Wukong, get away from the Gyrocopter, get away from the Phoenix, but I don't know. They're giving up a lot here just to be able to get items that don't have that much consequence.
Well, there we go. Roshan in their hands. Meanwhile, they are pressuring the tier 1. Mac
They
go
get
to
2 towers.
responder.
Bottom tower
Yeah.
has fallen.
They do. I thought maybe perhaps they could have pounced for a kill then, but
Radiant's middle
it
tower
happens. They'll just get the Aegis on Jackie.
Dire's top
Does give them a lot of like a lot more of the map to play right now, considering previously they could only play on it felt like 10% of the whole map. Even opening that up to like 25% with being able to more easily go down to the area, for example, near the Radiant Twin Gate. A couple of camps there, maybe even venture down to the other side of the map, because that's not where Boom want to be right now, despite the fact that they've got a slightly later game-oriented draft than what Talon's does. It doesn't really benefit them to be going back right now. They've got the Aegis, they've got Makoto.
Oh yeah, blink and pulverize. That's a dead Earth Shaker.
Dire's top tower
Well, he was trying to clear out that creep wave so that Boom didn't just keep pushing. He even... he just bought a Quelling Blade, dude. He's tired of this Monkey King. Mac has just been making his life hell from the very beginning.
Oh my.
And someone needed to deal with that, but... when it's your Shaker that's already having a rough time, I'm not sure if that's the one. At least with WS, with these creeps on the bottom side, they're pushing in the tier 2 tower. They're wanting to try and leave him until the last second to be able to back off.
Hold
on,
they found Cuckoo.
Yeah, it's just...
He did use that
should
BKB.
be able to get away. But this is the thing, right? If you're playing here, at least they're not pushing high ground, you know? Like, you die on a hero, and, well, it's an added benefit, actually, that Mac uses that second charge of his BKB. But it just delays them out a little bit. It lets you get into potentially that next item. I think Natsumi now has Aghanim Shards, so maybe you do find a way to be able to jump onto Phoenix, for example, and burst him down while he's in that duration of the silence.
So yet to get a significant pick off here on Talon. Still waiting. I mean, defensive item was on the next agenda here for Natsumi. And I think he was wanting to go with Daedalus, but feeling the need to go another defensive item and go the BKB here. And that might be a bit difficult with, especially since you've got Jackie, who's going a Satanic here, is just going to get lots of survivability, lots of damage being outputted. Still 2 minutes left on this Aegis also, so I don't know if they want to seize the high ground or not for Boom.
No Ags yet for Jackie as well, so despite having that Satanic, he's not going to get the side gutter bonus if he's able to pop it. Which doesn't feel amazing, I suppose. I'm also just looking at, like, it's getting to the point where they want these BKBs and they want to wait out the Aegis, and then I think they're just going to try and full-on commit for a good team fight here on Talon. You can't be giving up people for free. Natsumi venturing very deep into, I want to say enemy territory, but still heavily on their side of the map. Probably feels comfortable enough to do it because he's got that Aghanim Shard trap, which gives a little bit of extra vision as well. So feels somewhat safer. If he can get to his level 20, if they can wait out this 1.5 minutes, and if he can get BKBs, maybe you jump onto the backline. Maybe you start to take away some of these big killing sprees away from Boom. Maybe you give yourself that big injection of gold that you're really needing to be able to close this one out.
Well, he's sieging the high ground now. The Meld is there, the Hex too. Well, that's quite a bit of damage there onto Jackie. Gotta be careful. Doesn't have any creeps to heal up with there with the Satanic, so has to back himself off. So Talon just showing that